Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome back to our 2-Point Campus Let's Play where we're seeing daily releases until the game itself release later on this week or early next week, depending on when you consider your week to start, whether it's Sunday or Monday. Either way, I am so pleased to see so many of you enjoying the series on the channel so far, and so of course, we'll be continuing the series even after the game releases. If you have been enjoying the last couple of episodes, and as you're watching today's episode, if you decide you enjoyed this one too, don't hesitate to hit that like button and let me know in the comments down below. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed but you realize you've been having a good time here, maybe consider subscribing. Now, just want to say really quickly on the topic of comments, there was one major thing that was mentioned across multiple comments last session, and that made me realize that I was doing something without actually explaining why I was doing it. So for that, I apologize, and I will explain right off the bat today pretty much. Once we get into the next level, I'll explain what was going on with why I was, hitting those career goals, but not actually accepting the Kudosh, and hopefully it'll make sense when I explain it to you, because it makes sense to me, oh boy. So really quickly first though, I just want to celebrate the fact that we got our 3 stars at the first campus. Everybody passed, which was a huge occasion, at least for me, and based on the comments, for many of you as well, and it makes me very happy to see. I was really rooting for that guy, and he actually passed. So all of our students passed their final years. I don't mean by their final years, but our final year, I should say, at this campus. And that I'm just so pleased, honestly. Average grade of A, student happiness is through the roof, campus level was pretty decent as well. Very pleased with how our first level has been completed. With that done, let's go ahead and move on to the next level at Piazza, Lanatra. Serve award-winning food and help culinary students stomach the perils of fine dining. This is another very fun level. It starts with a couple of new mechanics being introduced, and then as you progress through the stars as well, if memory serves me correctly, a few more mechanics are introduced as well, and things start to get a little wild. So why don't we go ahead and dive on in and get this party started.
There is so much to learn in the wonderful field of gastronomy. Firstly, I suppose, that it's not an actual field, though with all the vegetables and livestock and so on, there may be rather a lot of time spent in a field. There you have it. The study of food really does cover so much ground that we only manage to scratch the surface and talk about grass. Let's have some music, shall we?
Absolutely love the narrator. I know I said it last time, and I'll probably say it every time we kick off a new level. Absolutely love him. For starters, oh, that's beautiful too. I didn't notice that when I was doing my, learning run of the game. For starters, my goodness. Welcome to Piazza Lanatra, where you'll find cobbled stones and a stunning cobbler. The students are eager to prove themselves in the town's famous cookery competitions, but a life on the stove can turn any aspiring chef into a perspiring chef. Will they wilt under the spotlight, or does it take a pressure cooker to make diamonds? So the main course at this, oh god, even the word course, I know it's not intentional here, but even the word course here just has an extra layer to it. But anyway, the main course at this level is Gastronomy, starting off with a student intake of 10, nice and easy, still a bit of a tutorial level like I was saying, but it does introduce a lot of new mechanics, and of course, like the previous level, just throws you into it when it's time to actually earn those stars. Now, first order of business before we get into this conversation with DJ Sous Chef is to actually quiet the radio announcer, because the radio announcer is the one who actually intros us to the level, but they also interrupt us constantly when we're playing. Love him, wonderfully written, doesn't work so well for a narrated playthrough, of course. So 1 second over here, and he shouldn't be interrupting us anymore. So DJ Sous Chef is going to be the one sort of taking us through this level. Similar to last time, we'll pay attention to her when it makes sense, but a lot of the time she'll be saying tutorial stuff that I'm already familiar with, so we'll ignore her from time to time, and I'll explain the mechanics myself in my own way. Hello there, I'm DJ Sous Chef. You'll find my restaurant and nightclub Beetroot right here in Piazza Lanatra. I'm here to help turn your student body into a bodacious stew of learning. Beautiful. Welcome to the culinary world. It's going to be delicious. I'm sure it will. So, of course, we've got our initial requirements and stuff. We'll dive right into it. But again, as promised before we started this level, just want to very quickly explain why I haven't been claiming my rewards for all of the career goals we've been hitting. I realized, it occurred to me that, some folks are, of course, familiar with the channel and myself, but of course, many of you are new around these parts and aren't familiar with my, let's call them quirks. The reason why I don't want all this extra Kudosh in hand right away is because then I will spend it. We were close to the end of the previous level when we were accomplishing all of these goals, and I didn't really feel like I needed to buy a lot of the stuff that was being asked of me because our students were doing pretty well. Maybe I'll reconsider that approach going forward because I should be striving for excellence, not just at the campus, but also, from the students within the campus, right? We are, after all, supposed to be elite. So maybe I'll reconsider my approach, but last time I was trying to be very wary of getting ahead of myself and claiming all of this Kudosh and spending it on frivolous things. Now, again, just to explain, anything unlocked with Kudosh in one level is of course still available in future levels as well. However, especially for these first few levels, you're going to be introduced to a variety of courses, and so the requirements for passing those courses at higher and higher year levels are different for each course, of course. Like the stuff we got at the Scientography classroom aren't necessarily going to be relevant or even available for the Gastronomy classroom. So I didn't want to spend all that Kudosh for stuff I wasn't going to be using for another who knows how many levels. So to keep that temptation at bay, I didn't claim the rewards. But yes, just to clarify the mechanic, because I really should clarify the mechanic, and I apologize for not having done that. When you hit these career goals, you are able to claim the rewards worth of Kudosh that you have earned by getting the career goal, and it actually has multiple tiers. So let's say, for example, if we look at friendships, you develop 100 new friendships, you claim that reward. The next goal is to get, I think it's 200, I forget now. But there are multiple tiers of goals. You can get multiple tiers worth of Kudosh, so it's not like it's super scarce. Like I was saying earlier, they're not scarce, but they're not entirely common either, because some of these goals, of course, they take a bit of time to acquire. Either way, if I recall correctly, it keeps a track, as you can see here, of our total progress. So eventually, when I claim these, I will still have that progress retained for the higher tiers of like career goal accomplishment as well. So unless they patch and change that, I'm not too concerned about the Kudosh I'm leaving on the table until it becomes, very desperate. And I know it sounded desperate last session, but like I was saying, we were very close to finishing with 3 stars. We're very close to having everyone graduate, and we did have everyone graduate despite a couple of missed assignments, so I didn't think it was the end of the world, and maybe I'm wrong in that. And again, like I always say, I would love your feedback on that. I'm starting to think maybe I should have done it differently, but you know what? That's what this game is about, right? It's all about learning experiences for our students and for me as the administrator as well, right? Now, this is a very fun level. We've got a couple of massive plots we can expand into on either side of our central plot. We also have this big plot over here, and I do believe, oh man, this can be an absolutely huge university, though of course we want to be wary of just how much we spread between, classrooms and dorms and stuff like that. A very tight starting spot over here where we need to fit 2 classrooms, well, 1 classroom and a lecture hall, and of course we just need to hire a teacher. So why don't we get that started? Just a quick note, the course we're offering is of course Gastronomy. We'll be expecting, again, just as a reminder, 10 applicants. We can right off the bat make adjustments if we want to, but I think we're okay with the tuition where it is, and with the student intake where it is, and that average learning rate where it is. I don't think we have to get too cheeky with all that stuff just quite yet. We'll see how many course points we can acquire before we start the year, if this level actually allows us to get clever with that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and put down what am I thinking here? How do I want to lay this out? So let's try and switch things up from last time. I'm not going to have a central dorm this time. I might actually acquire a separate plot and make this sort of the student building maybe over here or perhaps over here. I believe they are no, they're not symmetrical at all. I was way wrong with even beginning to make that statement. Maybe over here we'll put down the student like center, let's call it, where we'll have dorms and a couple of other things that'll be like the student lounge, I should say, and on top of that a couple of other things that we'll be introduced to in this level. And then over here we'll actually have all of our education stuff. So if that's how we're going to do it, then I should probably put our classes over here, so that it's a shorter distance from the dorms and all that to the actual classes. And then we can have like stuff like staff rooms and stuff over here when the time eventually comes to get those. So why don't we go ahead and do that? We have $250,000 to work with, which is, if memory serves, half of what we had to work with last time. So I do have to be wary of that. This level you can get into a situation where you need to where you need to take a loan. So just want to be wary of that. Let's go ahead and get our lecture theater down over here. Sure, doesn't have to be too big. Again, lecture theaters are pretty limiting with regards to just how many students. Well, all classrooms are limiting with regards to how many students you can fit in them. Sorry, but lecture halls are also limiting with regards to how many parts there actually are to put in there as well. The biggest consideration, I would say, is the prestige, right? We still want prestige to be high so that students are learning at a higher rate in the lecture theater. So let's go with that. Let's go ahead and put this lectern over here. Make sure it's right in the middle. That seems right to me. And then we can go ahead and get this settled down up over here, right at the middle. Let's get our door on this side. I'm gonna go ahead, let's go ahead and put it over here, and then we can put some plants down. Again, kind of following the format we did in our previous level with a couple of updates. It was actually pointed out to me, very good point, with the number of plants I was putting down in like every corner and every room. Our like janitorial staff were kept very busy watering plants. So I either have to have fewer plants or I have to have more janitors helping out. And I think I'm going to go for the latter. We need more staff. I was being a little conservative last level with just how many folks I had helping out. We had so much money by the end of the previous level, clearly a sign of me being a little too cautious. So We'll have more employees for sure this level. It also gets much more intense, obviously, so we will definitely take that into consideration. Again, good point. Thank you for pointing it out. I was being a little too lopsided with my, let's call it assignment of duties. Let's go ahead and put the teleprompter over here. Again, just trying to grow that prestige. We could also put down, well, let's go ahead and get the hand sanitizer down as well. Again, the shower replacement, let's call it, and let's get the bin down over here in this corner. Again, the janitors also empty out bins and stuff. So whether it's plants that need watering, or it's bins that need emptying, or it's just stuff that need repairing, those are all under the purview of the same like type of employee. You can change who's responsible for what, and fine-tune your approach for sure. But by and large, I think I do need to be a bit more just careful about the balance, right? And make sure the rooms are kept clean and neat and tidy, and everyone's kept happy as a result of our approach to again, rooms being nice but also being kept nice. Let's put it that way. Let's go ahead. I'm kind of tempted to put down a DNA poster. Does that make sense for gastronomy classes? Learning about the DNA of your food. I mean, there's some wordplay in there for sure. I could also unlock this surround sound. It costs 75 Kudosh. We have a decent amount of Kudosh on hand. It increases learning power, which of course helps us earn more money early on, as it increases XP gain rate nicely early on. So tempted to get the surround sound. 4K. Would obviously want at least 2 speakers. You know what? Sure, let's go ahead and do it for 75 Kudosh. I don't think that is a bad idea. Bit of a risk. Let's do it. I say risk. It's probably the safest risk I've ever taken in my entire life. I think we'll see our money's worth off of that expense. Let's go ahead and put some more windows down as well. I like to move some of these around too, so there's not a window right behind the speaker, which makes no sense. Put you down over here. Go ahead and put you down over here, please. There we go. That'll be nice. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and have one on either side of the speakers, and then when we hit complete, the windows will actually show up on the other side as well. Don't need any interior-facing windows. I don't think it will help make things a bit more attractive, I guess, but I just don't know if I personally find it attractive. You know what I mean? So let's get rid of that, or we could put another one down over here. Lots of blinds to close when you're actually projecting, I suppose. No need for anything else. I don't think a bat poster is very relevant in this room. I think this is decent prestige. And just as a reminder as well, of course, as we put these initial rooms down, not only am I considering the future, use in terms of prestige and learning power and attractiveness, I'm also considering our initial campus level. Because if I can get that high enough right off the bat, we'll acquire some course points, and we can use those course points to manage our courses and make some adjustments right at the beginning. Not a necessity, of course, but you can get an upper hand, especially in some of the later levels, by doing that. Gonna go ahead and put a bathroom down over here. A bit of a tight squeeze, I suppose, but they do the trick. Because as you I feel like as you come in, I would like to have easy access over here. And I know I just said as you come in, and I mentioned having dorms over here and talking about moving easily back and forth over here without actually mentioning that I intend to put a door down over here as well, actually, to make sure that access is actually possible. So my apologies, but that's the plan. Let's go ahead and get the door on this side. We'll go ahead and, actually, no, I take that back. We're gonna shift where the door is, because I want to actually have stalls on that side, because I want to have maybe some windows. That would be kind of maybe strange. Let's go ahead and go with it, though. Let's go and put you down over here, over here, over here, over here, and one more. Yes, sure, why not? Because again, right, we don't want folks lining up before they have to get to class and not actually using the washroom when they have to use the washroom. Of course, we want some sinks as well. Let's put 3 sinks down. That, I think, will cover us. Let's get the dryers as well, get a couple of those. I think that was working out decently at the previous campus, so hopefully it'll work decently over here. We'll get some hand sanitizers right at the entrance there, and get a bin right by the dryer. Yeah, sure, let's do that. Right by the dryer over there, sure. That should give us a decent, and some greens, why not? Can't have too many leafy greens, right? That should give us a decent washroom. Again, not the most prestigious of bathrooms, but I think it does the trick. I could probably add one more plant. That takes us to 4. Let's do it. If it takes us up, then let's do it. Maybe let's put here. Let's do this. Let's. Oh, I can't. I was gonna put the hand sanitizer between the plants, but I don't know if it'll fit. Even if I use the control key to help move it around. Let's see if I can't get this a bit further out and get you. Come on, come on. Not reachable, it says. Surely there's like a little sliver there. I feel like we might be able to make it work. Here, let's try that. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this, I promise you, but I feel like it's right there. It's right there. So just give me one more second here, folks. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, perfect. Spending so much time on a washroom. Good stuff, though. It's a nice, prestigious one. Got to make it look nice, right? Cool. Good. There's the bathroom. Now, there's our campus level up, plus 10 course points, plus 10 course points. You can see listed up over here. Now we can actually spend those course points to make adjustments. That's obviously nowhere near enough to actually do anything worthwhile, but just to explain this approach and why I'll be taking it on relatively often moving forward as well. Let's go ahead and actually, before I put our classroom down, let's get our campus building. No, sorry, not that. I meant to do this. There we go. We get our entrance over here. We want a side entrance. I don't know if I love this, doubles as an exit. I don't know if I guess you can only put, no, you can put multiple main entrances down. I just don't know if students prioritize them differently. Based on my experience, I haven't seen much of a difference in, again, the prioritization, but I'm not entirely sure. I feel like this is kind of a central location. I wonder if I should go a little bit further up this way. It's hard to say exactly. I feel like that's the middle there. So if we go right down the middle here, it would be like this roughly. I just don't like how lopsided it is, but I suppose we have a little nook here to do stuff with. I think that's the middle. Let's pop it down there for now. So there you go. We've got an extra entrance. Let's go ahead and gonna gonna have to make a lot of adjustments over here, but we'll leave that for later. The only downside, the big downside, I should say rather, to putting this over here is I was hoping to actually get the classes on this side, right? And this would limit how big they could be. Let's go ahead and get... What am I looking for? I'm looking for the savory kitchen. I could... Oh, I can fit the 6x6 minimum. I'd like it to be more than the minimum, though. I could go 6x9 or 6x10 even to line it up with that corner over there, right? So I could do that. And then we have a hallway in the middle where kids can sit down. They can grab a bite, perhaps. They can make friends. Yeah, that sounds reasonable to me. So 6x10 for this, a decent enough size. More room for, you know, another classroom, or maybe even 2 if we split it in half. Yeah, I think that works. I think that works. And again, the staff stuff over here, maybe the library over here as well. So feeling decently good about this. Double doors for this one. Let's put you over here. Sure, line it up with the, you know, sort of across the hall kind of a thing. And let's go ahead and put the big unit all the way at the end over here. I think makes the most sense. Kind of a little bit out of the way. And I believe I can only have the one, yes. So it's not like I can have multiple of these in a single classroom. Just for those of you that are wondering about the main item in a classroom, you can only have the one. This one's also full of just amazing animations. I can't wait to show some of them off. Well, let's get some of these other additional pieces in as well. Again, increase the prestige, increase our campus level, all that good stuff, right? So let's go ahead and get the cooking station. Probably a good thing to have in a chef's school. Pop you down over here. Let's go ahead and actually move these windows over. We'll add some more, of course. We can move the small one. Let's like mirror this side, maybe. Move the small one there. Add another small one there. Let's go ahead and get... no, actually, we're not going to mirror it exactly, of course, but it's you know, it's not perfectly symmetrical. We can make it that way if we wanted to, but I don't. I like the shape of the building, actually. Let's get the chopping station. Yeah, sure, you've got the window right behind it. That's what I was hoping for. Let's get the recipe station as well. All that lined up nicely. I can get a little bit closer. I can't attach them, but I can get them a little bit closer, sure. Oh, but it's not centered to the window. Okay, fine. Have it your way, game. Have it your way. Let's do that. And then we have the washing station as well, which actually helps with hygiene. All right, so let's go ahead and pop you down over here as well. All right, hang on. Move you to here, move you to... Oops. Move you to here. Go ahead and get the chopping station over here. Move the cooking station over here. Gotta move that window. That window's gotta go. I'll pop you over to here. Nope, that's the wrong one. Ah, come on again. Get rid of you. There you go. Move you there, move you back there, and then let's get the washing station over here. I just feel like it's a bit more convenient for use. It doesn't... I mean, it might make a slight difference, I suppose. Get the container cupboard back over here, because the students actually have to move between stations. I don't know how much of a difference that would make. This is getting expensive. Getting a little nervous, I'm not going to lie. Maybe I'm overdoing it. Let's get a bin down over here. Move the recipe book over to here. Bin down over here, right next to the chopping station. That makes sense, right? Go ahead and get ourselves a plant over there, and a plant over here and over here. Then we need a hand washing station, let's call it, a hand sanitizer. Oh god, I find it so funny that it's a replacement for a shower in the early game if you need it to be. But this, I would say, is a decent starting situation. I'm sure some of these we're going to have to unlock eventually for functionality for some of the later year courses. So we'll leave all that for later. We've got plenty of room to add those things. Pretty prestigious room, I would say. That's not bad at all. Let's leave it at that. Good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, okay, money's gonna get a little tight if we keep going at this rate. Just trying to figure out what else we might want right off the bat. We've got our lecture hall. We've got our gastronomy, the savory kitchen, sorry, rather. I'm wondering if I want to get a staff room and library down nice and early, or if I wait until it becomes a necessity and then respond to the call, because then at least we'll have some money come through. We can get a higher campus level. All right, let's go ahead and get a library down. Let's go ahead and get a library down. I'm thinking there are more courses, like, let's take a look at, just to show you guys, let's take a look at gastronomy over here. If we take a look at the course overview, this is, I guess, the first course. I was trying to show this during the first session, I guess, the first episode, but this is the first course where you actually need multiple rooms to complete the class. Sorry, the lecture hall notwithstanding, you need an extra room to complete the course. So I want to make sure that there is room for that room, and then for third year students, actually, you also need an additional room. You don't need the lecture hall anymore, but you need a room to do molecular gastronomy, which is actually rather interesting stuff. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to go ahead and lay this out. I feel like, do we do classroom, 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 library, or do we do classroom, library, classroom, classroom, staff room, right? I think this is a nice spot for the staff room. I think that makes perfect sense. But it's a matter of like, how do I spread this out? Now again, we can always move things around, right? So why don't we take that into consideration, that we can always move things around. We're going to have quite a few students moving forward, so I want this to be a fair bit larger. You can see, by the way, it was brought up in the comments, and I realized this was something I hadn't outlined when I was showing things in the first episode, or the first two episodes, I should say. Classrooms like this one, and lecture halls like this one, they have a limit of 8 students. But rooms like the library, the staff room, the student lounges, they don't, as far as I can tell, have a limit. You can see this number up over here goes all the way up to like 37, for example. It can go to the 40s. I've not seen a limit. It's just based on size. So you want to take that into consideration as well when you're determining the size of one of these rooms. Looks like our tipping point for prestige gain is right around over here. So why don't we do that? 6 by 7. Sure. Again, assignments are being done in the library, so we want to make sure that learning rates are quite high here, right? Go ahead and put the door down over here. Let's get ourselves a reception over... No, whoops, that's not right. Over here like so, right as you come in to the side here. Get our staff recommendations over... Come on. There we go, like that. Then we need... What else do we need? This is a necessity, the bookcases, right? So let's put you down over here and over here. A couple of them, again, students will line up to use them if we don't have enough. I'm definitely overdoing it, folks. I am definitely overdoing it. Let's put a bin down over here. I think that makes sense. It's a nice spot for it. Go ahead and get these guys down like that. Beautiful. Hand sanitizer over here. Good stuff. Nice prestige levels. The library notice board right up over here I think is quite nice. Good spot for it. Yeah, feeling pretty good. And of course, we do need a study cubicle. We could put all the cubicles back over here this time. Or, you know, let's go ahead and do... Here, let's do this kind of a thing where we do that and that. Yeah, I think that'll make sense. And all the cubicles will double up. Maybe we'll need a gap, I think, in between them so students can actually walk in. But we'll have all the cubicles over there. We'll have more bookcases over here. And then we can also consider... some of the other unlockables that I think we'll need eventually, like this gastronomy bookcase. I think we're going to need almost certainly, given the name, and of course we'll want to have a room for all that kind of good stuff. So this is pretty good. I think we could get one more thing in to take us up to 6. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? A neon guitar. I don't know if that necessarily makes sense in a library, but you know what? Why not the DNA poster for the molecular gastronomy that's eventually going to happen, right? That makes sense. Cool. Let's do that. Good library. Done. And do we... Come on. Not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. We could, of course, add the staff room as well right off the bat. I'm wondering if I want to get the dorm and stuff going immediately as well. How much does the plot actually cost? I want to get this plot 50k. Takes us to 100k. Let's go ahead and get an empty plot instead. I don't know just how much the building I'm planning on building is going to cost, but I'm looking for an interesting, fun shape. So let's go ahead and buy this plot, go for it, because we want all of our student services over here, right? So let's get that going, and I don't know if... No, time is not moving. We are paused, despite all that disappearing. Oh, no, it looks like time is moving. Yeah, I thought it looked like we were paused, but I guess not. Either way, let's let that happen, and as that's happening, let's put our staff room down. I mean, to be frank, I don't know if getting these course points right now is going to make that much of a difference, to be entirely frank, but it's fun to have some of this base stuff set up nice and early, right? I'm wondering if I want to create a slightly smaller staff room and have another washroom over here. Perhaps we move this actually down over here, and that way the washroom can go here instead to kind of mirror this, and it would, if we eventually decide to acquire this plot over here, it would have that same convenience of, you know, having a washroom kind of with close access, I suppose. Let's go ahead and get our essentials down, which is to say the door. That's all staff need, a door. I'm actually tempted. Do I leave it at that? We did level up to campus level 3. We did level up to campus level 3, which I can't remember now if the pop-up showed up or not, but just to explain really quickly, having for some reason some strange trouble with my recording software today, and it keeps dying on me. So if you've noticed a couple of cuts here and there, it's because I'm dancing around software that's not cooperating today. But we did hit campus level 3, and I cannot tell if the software actually managed to capture that or not before it died on me. But we'll find out together afterwards when I check. Let's go ahead and get some improvements in here at least. Let's get a couple of couches, perhaps. I wish I could change the color on the couches. Some of them you can. I mean, why don't we get one of these then? It's the same price. Don't know which one I like more. I think I just like the blue, really. Let's go with the classic orange. All that for this. Let's go ahead and put a couple of these down over here. There we go, and one more down like so. Nice and fancy. Again, I do want to be careful about the financial situation. We're buying this plot. We got to actually build it up and stuff as well, right? So let's do that. Let's go ahead and put one of these down over here. Sure. Let's get the cubby holes down up over here, and maybe we'll leave it at that for now. All the other stuff can kind of wait. Yeah, again, the better the staff room is, the more quickly staff actually regain their energy in the staff room, and that of course helps with them going back to work faster, right? So that's something to consider for sure, but I think that's good enough for now. Let's go ahead and take a look at this plot. I believe I'm able to build, where are we? Campus building over here now. Yes, we are. Again, I can actually build in this space as well, but I think it would be nice to have a bit of a green space or something over here. We'll build that up later. I'll clean all the, you know what, I say that, but I can't stand to see all this right now. Let's go ahead and sell these planters. They won't get me anything, so let's move them instead for now as I organize this space. Move you there, move you over here. Let's go ahead and, where are we? Where's my, there we go. Pathing, I would like to get some green down. Perhaps like so, and like so. That looks about right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Right? 14 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, I wish I hadn't measured. I wish I hadn't measured. Well, boy, so this isn't centered, is it? Fair enough, fair enough. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and shift you over. Let's just pause for a second. Throw me off. Let's go ahead and can I not edit? There we go. Shift you over to there. Shift you over to here, I suppose. Getting my math all messed up, I think. Yes, make those changes, please and thank you. Go ahead and put you down like so. Oh, we can't. Wait. Oh, I did that did cancel. My apologies, folks. My apologies. Go ahead and edit. Shift you over to shift you. Shift you. There we go. Shift you over. Shift you over to there. Yes, please. Let's go ahead and fix this up. So let's get, I think this is the footpath. Yeah, there we go. And is that better? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's still one more on this side, right? You know what? Fine with that for now. Because if we shift this over one more, then we just end up, I don't think this is perfect. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way, you know what? This is fine for now. I'm not going to get too bogged down with this. We can come back to it later for sure. But for now, I think it works well enough. And if anything, what we'll do is we'll spread the stuff that's going on across these 4 accordingly to match the situation. What about this? I want to do this. That's pretty, actually. I quite like that. Let's go ahead and do that, and then let's go ahead and get our building over here going. So let's build campus building right over here. I think that's a decent distance. I guess I could get a little bit closer. Put you down like so, over here. Right at the edge of that plot, eh? I don't know if I like how that looks. I like the gap to the side. So we might want to do... Might want to do... Cancel that. Yes, we might want to keep it a step back, actually. Just so we have that gap over there. But it seems I can't. Alright, fair enough. If I can't, then I can't. So let's go ahead and do that. That. Push this back to there, roughly, maybe. Go ahead back to the walls, please. I don't want this to be that skinny. Oh, there we go. Nah, still doesn't look... Can I hold on? No, let's do that. Let's do that. I think that's the best we're gonna get. The middle ground. Go ahead and increase this to something like that, maybe. Go ahead and increase this a bit more as well. So, you know, a different sort of a shape. We can add another building or something out over here if we want to. Maybe make another green space out over here. But I think that looks decent. And then we can put the actual entrance over here. And that's pretty much all you need to establish a new building. Pleased enough with how this looks. Excellent. Establish that. 76k left. Now, this will actually take time to complete. Let's hit play. Again, summer break. Nothing actually... Like, nothing's happening per se. Yes, time is moving forward, but we don't have to worry about, you know, bills or anything like that apart from construction costs. So once this is done, we can establish, I'm thinking dorms, maybe dorms up over here. We'll have more than just the one dorm this time around. But before we get to that, I do need to consider the people we need to hire. So let's go ahead and get ourselves an assistant, at least, to help with the library. Let's go ahead and get you picked up. Kind of expensive. But you've got the learning boost, you've got the comic timing, and you've got the aerodynamics. Moves slower than most, but also has aerodynamics. Interesting combination. Let's go ahead and get you in there. Let's go ahead and get our staff. We need janitors as well. Let's go with the lowest salary. Squeaky clean. That's not bad. Pop you down over here. We'll need some bins and stuff in the hallways too, but let's make some money first. Those can wait. Those things can wait. What cannot wait is, of course, our gastronomy teacher. Equal salary, squeaky clean, versus gets thirsty easily. Let's go with buddy over here, squeaky clean. Starts the day with a can of burp. Are you actually going to be upset if I don't have a burp vending machine then? That'd be interesting. It'd be an interesting touch. But let's leave it at that. Again, another way to improve our campus level is, of course, let's get another maybe janitor. Maybe let's do that. Or who's cheaper? Would an assistant be cheaper? Yes. An assistant would be cheaper. Let's go with you, Grain Marathon. We don't actually need one, though. What am I doing? We don't need one. Oh, nice. Warwick Flog. Let's get you in here. Will that take us to 4? That will not take us to 4, but perhaps some of our student stuff over here will. Let's build a dormitory. Again, not going to go as big as we did last time. We can definitely do smaller than that, and maybe have fewer beds as well. I believe there's a tipping point where it becomes too much for students to have too many students in one space. Let's go with... We could start with a big dorm and then split it later on, just to get the high rent at the beginning, right? So let's go ahead and start with a big dorm. Put the entrance to you down over here, and then if we need another big dorm, we can put it over here maybe. We'll figure it out. Play it by ear a little bit. Get the black frame bed. Go ahead and put, again, each one covers 5 students. Each bed, to clarify, by the way, because I might have been a little confusing last time, but each bed will supply sleeping room for 5 students. All right, let's do that. Do that. That'll be 20 students covered. Sure. Let's go ahead and get some... not one of these yet. Not just quite yet. Get these bedside tables, I think. Pop you down over here and over here. Get another one down. Is that facing forward? Yes, it is. Over here and over here. Let's get some desks in here as well. You know, maybe not a bad idea to have the kids actually studying. Pop you down over there. Good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's get some nice windows. It was pointed out that I took my sweet time adding windows to the dorms at the previous campus. And yeah, good point. Good point. Nice to have some natural light, isn't it? Go ahead and add one of these I love 2-point banners up there. Let's get the dorm notice board in there as well. We're approaching the 50K mark, which is about as low as I'm comfortable going, because we're going to have salaries to pay. Oh, geez, that's a lot. Oh, okay. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be okay. Get a hand sanitizer in there as well. The pseudo shower, until we actually have showers, maybe. Which we'll need to get soon, right? Let's not forget that's another thing to have in the student center building, let's call it. Put these plants down. Go ahead and get the hand sanitizer. Can't complain about having hand sanitizer, right? And we'll eventually add some posters and stuff as well. I think this will do the trick for now. I'm missing the wardrobe. Of course I am. The wardrobe. Can I fit you over here? I can. Put one over here. Don't necessarily like that. Let's go ahead and put them over here, actually. Because I would like, I like to try and pretend people are actually like living and working in these spaces and building accordingly. So all the wardrobes over here, all the beds over here, will eventually, again, spread these out when we don't need to save, when we're not in the early days of this fine establishment, or the soon-to-be fine establishment, I suppose. But I think this is good enough for now. Yeah, like I said, we're at that 50K mark. That is, that's about enough, I would say. That does give us enough course points, I think, to maybe upgrade this by a step. So you can see next year's tuition fees is 90K versus our staff wages, which is 92.5. If I go ahead and level this up, look at that, beautiful. So at that point, we end up with 15 applicants, right? We end up with significantly higher tuition fees coming through. We are, of course, spending some of those course points. And I could also, at this point, adjust these numbers a little bit if I feel like I want a higher learning rate or something like that. Again, enough beds for 20 kids. That's all good. But of course, if I reduce to, let's say, 13, right, our tuition fees goes down a bit as well, of course. I think that's okay. The higher learning rate will mean higher XP gain. But that means our first graduating class is just 13 students as opposed to the full 15. Which I think I'm okay with. You know what? I think I'm fine with that. The average is 103%. Sure, let's do that. Let's experiment a bit. Eventually, we'll be able to add courses as well. If I wanted to, I could, instead of upgrading our gastronomy course, I could add scientography or virtual normality, but I don't think that is a priority at all. So upgrading this to level 2, yes, spending some course points, getting those extra applicants, reducing the actual intake. That sounds good to me, so confirm that. And let's go ahead and actually start the year off. How about that for a good idea, right? Let's get the academic year started. Lots of jobs for janitors already. Okay, well, they can wait. They can wait. Let's begin. Am I ready? Am I sure? Yes, I am. Let's start the next year. Here we go. Another level, another year, another, hopefully, $190 or whatever $1,000. And looks like we're already being asked to build a private tuition room. Right. I should have remembered this is a tutorial level at the beginning, so there will be some instruction coming through. So dinner for one. Listen, I get it. You want your students to flower, but their grades won't always be self-raising. When one of my chefs needs some help, I send everyone else home and talk to them slowly and loudly. Maybe that's extreme, but some extra attention can go a long way. I recommend building a private tuition room. Tuition room? Tuition? Hold on. This is something that's always thrown me off, because tuition and tuition are two different things, right? Like a tutor, right? Anyway, either way, however it might be said, a private tuition room, I guess, is a room where only two people can ever be. One is a teacher and one is a student who either has opted to get private tutoring, or who you've sent forcefully to get private tutoring. The way it works is, if a student's not doing very well, or even if they're doing well actually, you can send them for tutoring, and when they have an empty time slot in their timetable, they'll make their way to the tutor, and they'll actually have an opportunity to gain more XP. They'll actually have the opportunity to gain more levels in the course, and as a result of that, they'll have an opportunity to improve their grades. So for example, if you have a failing student, you might want to send them over to the private tutoring sessions to get them out of that failing situation. I did forget that this was coming, and I'm now wondering where I want this to take place. Again, we have, 2 more classrooms to eventually fit over here, right? We can maybe split them in half and half. Why don't we go ahead and... Why don't we go ahead and put the tutoring room over here? It doesn't have to be that big. Prestige and stuff obviously still matter, right? They always matter. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. So let's go ahead and put it down over here for now. Maybe eventually we'll move it elsewhere to better accommodate the layout that we were thinking. Again, this is going to be massive room compared to what it actually needs to be. Go ahead and put the blackboard down over here. We could get the bin down right over there. I think that makes sense. Nice spot for it. Now let's get the plant down over the back there. We'll get the hand sanitizer, of course, to take care of hygiene for as long as possible, for as long as it's necessary, rather, over here. And eventually we'll unlock more of the stations and stuff to help with learning power a bit more in this room. And that's why I do want it to have a bit more space for the eventual additions. I just want to make sure that I'm prepared for our limitations. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. All right, I think that's fine for now. Not the most prestigious of our rooms. It'll bring down our overall level, which will reduce, of course, the awards we potentially gain. But you know what? Let's go ahead and leave it at this for now, because this is not final, right? We have a whole academic year to improve it and improve the score we end up getting for the award season at the end of the year. Now, students can attend private tuition for one-on-one help from a teacher. Again, I've talked about this. So let's go ahead and resume, but we do need to get a teacher to actually teach in there. And of course, depending on the course that you're giving tutoring for, you want to pick the right teachers, right? If you have multiple courses being offered. Boost teaching skill in private tuition, plus 5% teaching skill, and actually a much better gastronomy teacher as well. Let's go ahead and, despite your weaknesses, hire you and pop you in there. Okay, money is looking a little tight, but right, we've got the students coming through. They're going to start gaining XP real fast. We've got their tuition coming through. We've got the dorm over here making us a decent bit of rent per year as well. Beautiful. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be A-okay. A little nervous, you can probably tell, but I think we'll make it. I think we'll make it. Monthly profit, no XP bonus yet because there were no classes held in August. I maybe could have sent someone for tutoring right off the bat if I'd built that room a little bit faster, but we're okay. Students are filing in for their first class of the year, for the first class of this university, actually. And I must say, the gastronomy course has some extremely entertaining animations. Really quickly, I want to check our inbox. I'm pretty sure that's the star's statement. Yeah, looking all right. You know what? I think we're looking okay. Spent a lot of money, but it allowed us to upgrade our course. It allowed us to get a few more students in, not the most new students in, but a few more students in, and just, made us that much nicer, I think. A worthwhile investment, I think. We do need to complete a private tuition session. Tuition session? Tuition? Because tuition is what you pay, right? Tuition fees. But I guess you're paying... That's on me. Because I've lived in only one place where getting a private tutor was extremely, extremely common. And I think it might have been a dialect thing, maybe? Tuition? Just pronouncing tuition incorrect? Anyway, okay, that's enough time spent on that. I'm having an existential crisis, clearly, as some of these students seem to be as well. He looks like he's sobbing. I think he's just sleeping. But we've got decent learning rates, I hope. 127, 115, 98. It's not the best. 120. Okay, I think we're all right. Already level 3 in just one class alone. I think we're more than all right. And by the way, again, I think I mentioned this previously. I was very pleased to see that I wasn't the only one caring about that one student's failing grade that we managed to turn around, right at the death. And I just want to let you know that if you're interested when you're playing, or as we're playing, I'll probably check this relatively often, you are able to keep up with all of your students. You can see year 1s, year 2s, year 3s, so on and so forth. You can categorize to make sure you're keeping an eye on everyone. And this actually helps in more than just that one way, because what you can do is you can see, so you can see what anyone is doing. Bobby Rang over here. Why don't we focus on you for a moment? Bobby Rang, let's take a look at your timetable. You are free. Wait, no, your Bobby Rang's down here, so you're not free, actually. Penelope Beetroot, you're not doing anything until all the way in February. Your first semester is just relaxing. Wow, that's certainly an approach. So Penelope Beetroot, why don't we go ahead and send you to private tuition, right? I think they should engage right away. Let's keep an eye on Penelope Beetroot. Typically, what you would do is you would go to your student list. You would say, oh, you know what? Bobby Rang over here has got a B grade. He's got some. You'll check their calendar. Maybe they've got some free time coming up, and you schedule them for tutoring. I can still do that. I can say, you know what, Bobby Rang, the moment you get some time, go ahead and get some tutoring done. And that should help bring that B up a little bit. We also have a C plus over here, Perry Stud and Sophie Gobb. Send them for tutoring as well. They will queue up. So if I go ahead and close this window, if I highlight the actual tutoring room, you can see how they've queued up. We've got the, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Typically, I believe the ellipses is shown for anyone who's actually headed there currently. So if we resume, will you go or not? Up over here. I think she might not because, there we go. All right, cool. Perfect. So she's actually headed for tutoring right now, and I want to see what actually happens because, truth be told, this is my first time sending someone in before they've actually started their classes. It defaults to an F when they haven't attended any classes, which is, I mean, I guess that makes sense. But I'm curious to see how it actually plays out with tutoring. Should help maybe get a head start, but if it works as I expect it to, it should increase XP, which will help again with our earnings, of course, which, by the way, last month, not bad. An extra 7.7k approximately, not too shabby. What's your learning rate looking like? 153%. I don't want to lose that, you know, as happiness eventually trickles down, because of course we have to build, you know, spots for them to eat and all that kind of stuff to maintain all of their needs. So while we have this opportunity, why don't we go ahead and take a look at this class? I need to rotate this because that is not the direction this should be facing. That's awkward. Yes, come on in, have a seat. You walk in, person sitting with their back showing. Are you not actually going to? Come on, get to work. There we go. So the tutoring has begun. You can see the XP being gained. And hopefully, you know, they might be at a higher level by the time they get to their actual first class. Again, typically, the way I've used this is to bolster grades and make sure that the average grades are higher and things like that. Make sure that you're getting better awards during the award session, or award season, I should say. So you can see, there you go, leveling up and gaining, you know, upgrading grades, basically upgrading their potential, let's call it, because they technically haven't taken any courses yet, but also increasing the XP bonus that we get just simply by adding on to the XP that's being earned at that time of the year, or that month, right? As this pizza is being prepared, let's go ahead and take a look at this. A party in your mouth. If the students are having a bland experience, don't expect their food to be any different. Show them a tasty time by throwing them a party. All right, good stuff. We have to build a student union. We have to hire an assistant to actually help run that student union. And student union is where you can start hosting some events. I just want to stick around and take a look at the animation over here as this course is being completed. To a round of applause, in fact, and looks like that everyone's done a decent job, hopefully. C pluses. This guy's headed to private tuition. B pluses. All right. Some middling grades. We've got an average of B. There will be some assignments and stuff happening as well, of course. What do we have over here? They're all just going to line up, are they? Oh, they are just going to line up, aren't they? Okay. So I got to be a bit more careful about sending people to get the extra education help. Looks like they started having a conversation before I canceled the private tutoring, but this guy's literally just standing around doing nothing, waiting for the class to free up. So that's not really going to fly. Let's go ahead and pick you up and turn you around. There we go. Fix that. We got to make sure we're a bit more on the ball with sending people when they're actually able to go, as opposed to at random. You are sure. Let's finish that assignment, and then you can go and get some tutoring done, and then we'll go and get the student union built. Sorry. Level 4, come on, study. There you go. Meeting up with Bobby Rang. Nah, that can wait. Oh, you're an A student now, actually. You know what? Go have some fun. Go have some fun. You're fine. We got a B plus student over here. Why don't we send you to get some help? I should be looking at lower grades and giving people with lower grades help, but you know, this is fine for now. We're gonna get the student union built. I think over here is a decent spot for it. make it nice and big. Student union is another type of building which doesn't actually, if memory serves me correctly, have a limit to how many people can hang out. The bigger it is, the more people can fit, as you can see, up to 35 if we just go straight there, up to 25 if we go straight down this way. We don't need that much. I would like to be able to fit... Actually, I'm gonna cancel that. Why don't we put it over here? We'll have some more room for it. And that way we can host bigger parties. Then we can have the dorms kind of coming down this way. We have room for a hallway over here right at the end. Have a hall down this way, and that'll take you down over here. Or, of course, we could expand this building over here. I just wanted an interesting shape rather than have everything be squares all the time. So let's leave it at this. Why don't we go ahead and get the student union? Yeah, down over here. How big do I want it? Right now, we only have 13 students, but, you know, next year we'll add another 15 potentially. So that takes us to 28. Then another year, we'll have another 15, so that takes us to 30, 43 or something. Not everybody's going to be free to party at the same time. Some people are going to have courses when we schedule events, so they're not going to be able to attend parties. So maybe enough room for 20 makes sense. Enough room for 20. Get some more dorms down over here. Get a shower over here. Yeah, that's feeling all right to me. Go over here. 8 by 10. We can always make adjustments, right? Pop you down over there. Let's go ahead and get the door where? Well, the shower's over here. Let's get the door over here. Go ahead and put the bar for our students. Serves milkshakes, peanuts, and lime cordial. All right, fair enough. Go ahead and put you up over where? We're looking a little crusty. Oh, right. I got to start putting water and food and stuff down. We're no longer in tutorial town, right? So all this stuff is in our hands now. Let's pop you down over here. That should quench your thirst. And let's go ahead and pop you down over here, right? We can obviously make this a bit nicer. Let's get a bin down. Get a bin down over here, I would say. Let's get some plants down. We got a jukebox as well, 2K. Just keeping an eye on that money situation as well, of course. Get some dartboards up as well. This isn't, by the way, the student lounge. This is the student union, and student unions and student lounges do different things. They can host different kinds of parties and stuff, and you'll get requests for both. Why don't we go ahead and just stick with our basics for now. Get the hand sanitizer over here. Go ahead and get the plants down over here and over here. Make this a bit nicer. Not too nice just quite yet. We do still have the 2-player game table we unlocked previously. 1,200. I think I can afford that. Pop you down over here right by the entrance. That's not bad. And a few more spots to sit down I think makes sense. Let's go ahead and do that kind of a thing. A nice spread. And we'll get some, you know, arcades and stuff going as well. Let's get the... Where are we? Yeah, let's get the neon guitar up over here. And we'll eventually add the jukebox on that side. So maybe like a spot to dance, you know, more active and loud socializing over there, more quiet socializing over here perhaps, though we got a board game table. I don't know how quiet that would be. But I think that's working out for me. We'll eventually unlock the dance floor to that end. Why don't we go ahead and get 3,500? A little pricey. Let's get the Cheesy Gubbins machine in here. And let's also get the burp in here. Not the healthiest of options, but at least there is a spot to now eat and drink. So go ahead and confirm all that. Let time move forward. And what do we have over here? A love bench wanted. For these good friends to become more than just good friends. 600 is not too expensive. Go ahead and put the love bench down over here. Give a little bit of privacy away from the main sort of road, let's call it. Pop you down over there. We'll need some more benches and stuff as well for our exterior area. Go ahead and get some picnic tables, perhaps. I'm wondering about money, because what I'd like to do is maybe get the hot dog kiosk down over here. And get the coffee kiosk over... Here, sure, that works for me. Let's go ahead and we'll need another assistant or two to manage these, of course. But let's get some picnic tables and stuff as well, right? So let's put you down over there. Down over there. Let's go ahead and get you over here and you over here. Make this plot a little bit nicer. And let's go ahead and hire some of that staff, shall we? Assistants. Nobody with a sense of humor, eh? It's nice to have people who are able to make your students happy, you know, kind of like at other times when they're just having interactions. But let's go with affordability right now. Go ahead and pull you in. We need one more at the very least. Let's go ahead and get Alfie Moon. I suppose you're a bit more affordable. Yeah, sure. Let's get you Iron Bladder too. Working at the coffee shop. That makes sense. Events are a great way to promote a healthy work-life balance and the best way to make people happy. There's a lot of organized fun to be had on campus. So, over at the Student Union, we need assistant as well. Let's go ahead and get... Oh boy. We can always take a loan. Let's get Rodney Infinity, maybe. Squeaky Clean as well. Been here before. Dry Mouth, Iron Blood. Let's go with Rodney Infinity. A bit pricier, but he's got the two sort of boosting traits. So let's pop you in here, working in the Student Union, and we can actually now... Okay, that scared me for a second. Organize, if we want to, an event at the Student Union. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. I wish I'd paused earlier, because then we could have had an event for the, holidays, I suppose, the November-December gap. But instead, why don't we do one for spring break at the end of March and the beginning of April? Let's go ahead and take a look at the events we can schedule. And just to show you, there are a couple of ways to actually get here. You saw one over here, this event setup. Alternatively, what we could do is we can close that. We can go over to the calendar like so. Find the Student Union, see when the most number of students are free, or, depending on how many courses you have and stuff, how many students are free at what time, and then pick your room where you want to host an event. Again, different rooms will be able to host different events. So, for example, it's not unlocked yet. The lecture theater can actually host movie nights, but we'll get into that when we get into it. Let's go ahead and add an SU party, a Student Union party, throw an event in the Student Union, and see if you can tell the difference. There are some basic requirements, of course, and you can see the rewards over here. They last for 15 days. That boosted happiness and the boosted movement speed can make a huge difference to like learning rates and things like that, or to accomplishing various goals for the stars you want to acquire, right? So why don't we go ahead and schedule this event, and if we decide we don't like where we sat, we can shift it around, which is exactly what we're about to do. We're going to go ahead and move this to April, and why don't we have it spread across April? Well, maybe because we want to make sure students are also able to shower and eat at that time. Maybe that's too long. It's a 30-day event, basically. Each slice is 15 days for the sake of math. But, so, maybe we want it to be reduced. So they're all showered and cleaned up and everything. And then they have a short party. And then they go back to classes. It doesn't affect the cost of hosting the event, as you can see. It stays the same. It's just a matter of, do we give them enough free time to do and pursue other things? And I think for the first party, not just at the campus, but for, our institution as a whole, and for this playthrough, it's got to be a full rager, right? 30 days is the longest a party can go, and so 30 days it shall be. April is going to be the month of party, I suppose. We can auto-schedule it to repeat every year, but since money is a little tight, I'm going to avoid doing that for now. We're going to go ahead and book that event, and that should... once we actually host the event, complete our objective over here. Some of us are looking a little crusty. 92% of students are thirsty. Well, we just put the coffee kiosk down. I should probably put a couple of spots for like food and stuff over here. You know what? Actually, let's get the water coolers. These are good for socializing and of course for thirst as well. Pop one of you down over here. Then we can have planters on either side. Yeah, one of you over there. One of you over here, a bit healthier than having soda as well, right? Let's go ahead and put one down over here on the other side as well. Again, they're not very expensive, 200 a piece. It's a relatively cheap way to meet needs. We don't need like an assistant or anything as well. Go ahead and shift you over by a step there, perfect. And why don't we go ahead and actually get a couple more, one down over here and one down over here. So that way, if you're coming out of the library or you're coming out of tutoring or going into even, you have access to water across the board. Cool. I mean, we got sinks right here. What do you need water coolers for? Why are you thirsty? Go ahead and resume, and hopefully that'll take care of that. Let's take a look at thirst levels. There we go. That's a lot of thirsty students. That is a lot of thirsty students, and they're going to be thirsty for a little bit longer, folks, because this is where we're calling it a session. Like I said, I like to keep these about an hour long a piece. We've gone a little bit over today. If I've got my... Yes, looks like we've gone a little bit over today, so my apologies for that. I hope you don't mind. But we've accomplished a lot. We've established a lot of the core necessities, not just for the first year of operation, but the first year students coming through across the board year after year as we try to accomplish everything at this campus. Really excited to actually host the party in April of next year, so that'll be next session, and to get to earning those stars. And this isn't everything that this level is going to teach us. We're going to be introduced to a few more mechanics. We're going to be introduced to student clubs. You might have noticed when we were taking a look at the student sort of social life elements. Clubs are a very important aspect of it. They unlock some special abilities and stuff, so they're a lot of fun. We're going to redecorate this outer area as well, have some more trees and flower, like beds and planters and stuff put down. Lots of good stuff to do over here. Lots of good events to host and explore as well. And of course, the challenge of adding 2 more classrooms as our students enter the next year and the year after that as well. Everything gets that much more complicated. Everything escalates rather quickly. I wonder if I should turn these guys around. Initially I thought it was kind of cool to you go around, you come this way, you pick up your drink and you go back, but now I'm wondering if they should face the other, look, I think, let's go ahead and do that. I think makes a bit more sense. We do have someone to work it already. It's just they're not there right now because we picked it up and rotated it. I think that makes a lot more sense than sitting down at this bench and, I feel like there are better views to be had. Either way, folks, all that and more to happen next time. Again, that will be tomorrow at around the same time. I hope you're enjoying this series. If you are, you know what to do. Let me know down below. Hit that like button. Leave a comment if you have any thoughts, any opinions, or if you just want to, share that you're having a good time. I read all of the comments. I take them all into consideration and, adapt and adjust accordingly. Let's say that. Again, after the game releases, we'll be continuing our series on the channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well with regards to how many episodes you'd like to maybe see in a week, and I'll take all that into consideration as well as we try to prepare our schedule moving forward. And of course, one more thing to mention is that if you're enjoying and you would like to keep enjoying this series on the channel, it might be a good idea to subscribe so you get notifications. And don't hesitate, of course, to join the Discord or follow me on Twitter either for updates to scheduling and, just hanging out with some fun folks. Links to both of those are in the description down below. That's enough of a spiel, I would say. Folks, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big ol' thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.